Alright, so this is the HP Beat Studio. It's a 15.6 inch 5-pound laptop. What's really special about this one is it is the 4th generation i7. That processor type is the Intel Core 4510U processor. And what makes the 4th generation processor special is, like, by comparison to the 2nd generation processors, even if they had a dedicated video card, they couldn't play a lot of the same games or run a lot of the same software that the 4th generation can without even having a dedicated video card at all. That means the onboard video is now way faster than the old 2nd generations or the 3rd generations used to be. So that, along with the fact that now these things can handle up to 16 gigs of RAM, is special about them in the 4th generation compared to previous generations. So moving on, the hard drives in this is a 500 gig 7200 RPM drive. It has 8 gigs of RAM included with it. We do offer an upgrade to 16 gigs of RAM for an additional $60. You can ask about that after you purchase, or just ask us to change the invoice and we'll go ahead and include 16 gigs of RAM with it. The ports on this are, it has, and I'll show you through it while we look at the condition at the same time. So the condition on this is used laptop, but it's in outstanding condition. The only marks on it at all are on the underside of the laptop. So we'll start with this side. This is a DVD burner and a USB port, and this is a microphone or headphone jack. It works as both, or a combined jack. On the other side over here we have 2 more USB ports, a card reader for your SD card. We have an HDMI output, a wired internet jack, although it does have outstanding wireless connection as well, and then of course your power jack. There are no ports on the front or the back, but there is a nice webcam up here, and this is a Beats Audio laptop, so it has an outstanding speaker system. Right now I have a USB for wireless keyboard and mouse as I walk you through what's on the laptop. So the top of the laptop is in nice condition. It has like a ribbed surface. It's very, very thin and sleek. The underside, where we do have some marks, are right around this area of the laptop, and it's just scratches that go through here. Everything else is clean. It has all the pads on it. All the screws are in the laptop. Everything's good to go. So this is ready to use right out of the box. Everything's in outstanding condition except for this couple marks on the bottom, and then I'm going to show off a little bit more about the sound and everything else in just a moment here. So that's the ports and the condition of the laptop. Now the battery on this particular laptop, we tested it for 2 hours and 40 minutes. The software on this, which we'll walk through, of course this is Windows 10, which means it has Cortana, so we can speak to Cortana, one of the new features of Windows 10. Hey Cortana, can you open Photoshop?
I pulled up some videos for you.
I goofed up. Hey Cortana, can you open Photoshop?
Alright, which one do you want? 1 Adobe Photoshop CS6, 64-bit, or 2 Adobe Photoshop CS6?
Adobe Photoshop 64-bit.
Okay, starting Adobe Photoshop CS6, 64-bit.
So Cortana acts as a virtual assistant, and she can do little tasks for you, like, hey Cortana, can you set an alarm for 4 p.m.? And then she'll ask me some questions.
I set an alarm for 4 p.m.
Oh, well, hey Cortana, can you set a reminder for me? Hey Cortana, can you set a reminder for me?
Tell me your reminder.
Cook dinner.
When would you like to be reminded?
5:30 p.m. today.
Sure thing. I'll remind you to cook dinner at 5:30 p.m. today. Sound good?
Yes. Yes.
Great. I'll remind you.
So she can do other
You can
things
also
like
see
open
it in your reminders
emails,
list
check
anytime.
packages, and do tracking. If you set her up with contacts and emails, she can do even more sophisticated commands for you. That's one of the best new features of Windows 10. The other big one is Windows has a store now. Hey Cortana, can you open the Windows Store? I've never tried this.
Here's how to open the Windows
So
Store.
she won't do that, but she'll tell me. Hey Cortana, tell me a joke.
Time flies like an
This
arrow.
is where we're going to open the
Fruit
Windows
flies
Store.
like a banana.
Hey Cortana, what is the weather?
Right now, it's 88 and partly sunny.
So Cortana can do a lot of cool tasks. That's interesting about her. In the background here, I've opened the Windows Store, which is a new feature. It's a lot like the Apple Store, only this is going to be for applications that are going to run on Windows and movies. And I think they're already doing even very large software applications, not just little tiny apps like we might think of them traditionally. So software that you might usually go to the store to buy, now you'll be using the Windows Store to purchase it and you'll download it online, is what I'm assuming that is leading to. So in addition to that, we have other software that we've tested on this, which is going to include just a variety of basic applications that are used typically in higher end machines, and we ran a lot of these to test out the features and capabilities of the iCore 7 processor, the 4th gen, and especially because this does not have a dedicated video card. It's running on the onboard video, but it happens to be so powerful because it's the 4th generation that it keeps up with a lot of, as I said before, what used to be in the 2nd generation iCore 7 processors still required a really high-end video card that was separate, like an NVIDIA or an AMD card that was powerful enough to maintain the higher-end software. Same thing with the games. We were able to test quite a few games through here, and everything ran incredibly quickly. We tested this with both 8 gigs of RAM and 16. Again, this comes with 8 gigs of RAM. If you want to upgrade it to 16, we'll do that for you. Just let us know. It's an extra $60 at the end of the purchase, or we can add it onto the invoice, however you need to do that. So in addition to that, everything's fully upgraded and tested, ready to use right out of the box. CDs and manuals are not included, but there is a 14-day return for any reason. We do ship to the US and Canada only. It'll be insured with tracking and everything. And one last thing on here to show you is how impressive this sound is. And this is kind of hard to show off, really, because of the quality of the camera. But this is just Netflix. Again, we're wireless. This will also give you a chance to see some of the visuals that are going on in here. I should open some of the games, really, but...
And ingenious.
To really show this off, I should probably play a video with a lot more bass and treble. But the sound is crisp, and that's both in the treble and in the bass tones. You hear it. It sounds like a very high-end audio system.
And will do whatever it takes.
And the most impressive feature really about this laptop, though, again, is the speed. This is a 4th generation iCore 7 processor, and if you really want to crank it up a notch, we'll go ahead and put 16 gigs of RAM in it for you. Everything on it, again, is flawless except for those few scratches on the very bottom under surface of it where no one is really looking anyway. Enjoy and good luck. Thanks for watching.